Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to School Reformer platform for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you. Let me briefly introduce myself. I have been teaching mathematics for the past 10 years, and during this journey, I have been not just taught concepts, I have observed students how actually respond to learning. And I am being very honest. Mathematics has shown me one clear truth. Students don't struggle because maths is difficult, but they struggle because maths is often taught without experience. Over the years, working within the CBSE system, I have seen classrooms where students can solve problems on paper, but they hesitate when the same concept appears in real life. And that made me reflect deeply as a teacher. Are we helping students understand or just helping them perform in exams? This question stayed with me. So, when I was asked what I would like to speak about today, I chose a topic that I strongly believe can transform our classrooms: the learning beyond textbooks through experiential learning. Because in maths, especially, learning cannot happen through formulas, but we need some experiences. We need to make them feel the things and how the things are applied in the real life. So, if you think about teacher development or the classroom practices, we often focus on which methods to use, which chapter to complete first, which questions to give. But today, I want to pause and reflect on something deeper. Not just what we teach, but how students actually experience learning in our classrooms. Because the moment learning becomes an experience, mathematics stop being a subject of fear and start becoming a subject of understanding. And this is exactly what I would like to explore with everyone over here in the next 30 minutes. So let me begin with a short story. Um, okay, so this is a story of a boy. The boy's first day of school was there. He was very excited. As in the first image, we can see the first one. It is showing that the child is very excited and couldn't wait to start learning new things. He was having a lovely day. And after recess or the break, the teacher said, "Children, now we are going to do some drawing." Good, thought the little boy. He just started thinking of the things what he is going to draw. He loved drawing. He got out his pencils and was about to start drawing out a fantastic story about tigers, dragons. But when the teacher said, "Wait, today we are going to draw some flowers." Again, the boy thought, okay, it is a good thing. We have to draw the flowers, and we begin to draw all the different size flowers with beautiful shapes and colors. He drew some of the beautiful flowers like his mom grew in their garden. But then again, the teacher said, "Wait, let me show how to draw a flower." A good flower has 5 petals with a green stem. So basically, the teacher was giving the instructions to draw the flower. You can color the petals red. Okay, thought the little boy, and I can draw a flower like that. So he drew a flower with 5 red petals and a green stem. Well done, the teacher said. In the third image, you can see the teacher said, "Yes, you have done well." So The teacher was pleased with little boy's second drawing. The next day, after break, again the same thing happened. The teacher once again announced that they are going to do some drawing. Good thought, the little boy, eager to draw something exciting. But again, the teacher asked to draw a house. Again, the teacher gave the instructions, and basically, the boy was trained like that. The instructions were given, and the boy was doing according to the set of instructions which were given to him. So the little boy placed his first attempt in the bin, what he drew from him from his side, and he realized that it was not as what the teacher wanted, but he has to follow the instructions as teacher gave them the instructions again, that it should be the square house with a triangular roof or something. When the little boy showed the teacher, again the teacher appreciated that it is well drawn and good, thought the little boy. As the time went on, the months passed, the little boy realized that every day this used to happen, and they had a break time afterwards. They used to draw. Then one day something happened differently. The little boy's father got a job far away from that school, and he had to leave that school, and he go to a new one near his father's new job. The little boy liked his new school, and his new teacher was also very nice. On his first day, the teacher said to the class, "Please get out some paper. It's time for some drawing again." Good, thought the little boy, and he sat patiently, waiting to be told. Uh, Basically, he was waiting for the instructions to draw the next thing. He waited for a while, then his teacher came up and said, "Oh, you haven't started your drawing yet?" Because the boy replied, "No, because you have not told us what we are going to draw," replied the little boy. "So, if I told you," the teacher said, "if I will tell you what to draw, then everyone's picture will be same, and I wouldn't be able to differentiate the things. So, room would look fairly boring, don't you think?" "Oh," said the little boy with a confused looks on his face. Then the teacher said with a smile, "You can draw whatever you like." But imagine what he drew. He again draw the flower with five red petals and a green stem. So basically, this is what is happening. Whatever way we are going to train the children, we are going to give the instructions to them, accordingly they are behaving. And this is unintentionally. We are, in order to reduce our work, we give them instructions so that the things become easy for us, and we want all the children to follow that, and this happens. But is this a good thing? Means, are they experiencing or learning the things in the proper way? That is what making the things difficult. Not right now things become easy for us in the class to handle them, to check all the things, but in future they are not trained. So before moving forward, uh, let's make this session little interactive, and I am sharing a Mentimeter link. I have shared the link in the chat box so that you all can join. So here is the first question for this Mentimeter, and all those who are there in the meeting, they can answer this. Okay. What is the first word you associate with the experiential learning? This is an open-ended question. To do, to feel, to practice. Yes. So the next question is, name one activity that can make mathematics, not even mathematics, even we can have some other subjects also, which activities make our subjects more experiential. I'm waiting for the responses. Okay, next question is, rank these strategies from most effective to least effective. Yes, the first one is teacher's explanation, then hands-on activities, reading from the textbooks, real life experiences. Next one is, which approach helps students remember the concepts for a longer time? Okay, so doing the classroom activities and applying them in real life. Yes. So these were the questions. Now, let me move back. Okay, now let us let me introduce two characters. One is On the left side, I have Karkar Kumari, and on the right side, I'm having Padkar Kumar. So, as in Mentimeter, we have observed that for experiencing the things, we need to make them for better experience. We need to make them apply the concepts in the real life. And as the name is suggesting, for the two characters, Padkar Kumar, who is standing in front of the books, and the Kumari is in the play zone, a kind of activity zone. So we have, let me just play.
Hello everyone, I am Padkar Kumar. My best friend is a book. I love reading lessons, stories, and facts quietly and carefully. I enjoy turning pages, finding meaning, and learning new things from what is written. For me, books are full of answers, imagination, and knowledge. Thank you.
Hello friends, I am Karkar Kumari. I love activities, action and learning by doing. I enjoy making, exploring, observing and trying things out on my own. For me, learning becomes real when I can see it, do it and experience it. So basically, the two characters are themselves telling. So, which type of students do we have in our classrooms? Are we training them as Padkar Kumars, or we are training them as Karkar Kumaris? So, I feel most classrooms have Padkar Kumar learners. But today's era demands the Karkar Kumari learners and not the Padkar Kumar learners. So, as I have already introduced the two characters, so let us understand more about them. And the Padkar Kumar's view are already there, which you have heard, that the Padkar Kumar believes in padhai, only reflecting traditional things and learning approaches. But on the other hand, we have Karkar Kumari, who advocates padhai with khel and khushi. And the quotes are also there. Padhoge, likhoge, banoge nawab. That was a traditional thinking. And now we have खेल खेल में हम सीखते हैं जनाब. So, in order to make our students Karkar Kumaris, we need to train them accordingly. Now, but the thing is, how we are, if we all agree that experiential learning is important, then why most of our classrooms still producing the Padkar Kumar learners and not Karkar Kumari learners? To understand this, we need to step back and look at how our education system has evolved. So, this is the evolution of Indian education system, in which earlier we had ancient gurukuls, then we had colonial era, and right now we are in the changing phase. So, ancient gurukuls were residential schools focused on holistic development and peer learning. So basically, the system is changing, but it need to be changed. Although it is changing, but we have to bring some more changes in order to make our students Karkar Kumaris. So in ancient Gurukul systems, we had learning by doing, as we all remember, the Mahabharata and all other examples are also there, in which the Guru used to train their children, and they had real life experiences. The strong teacher student connection was there, and students used to respect their teachers, the main thing. Then in colonial system, we introduced structured classrooms to the students. We focused on their textbooks and we emphasized on memorization and rote learning. So the learning became rigid and uniform. But in present system, we are still influenced by rote learning, but we are gradually shifting and developing the skills to for our students. Next, let us go to some statistics now. Surveys such as NAS, which is nothing but National Achievement Survey, which is conducted across all over India to assess what students are actually learning, and international surveys or studies like PISA also show how the students are struggling based on real life applications. And the question again arises, are we truly equipping students for exams and for real life? So the answer is somewhat, I think, no. Because students may know the formulas, but how to apply those questions or the formulas in real life is still a challenging task for all of us. So this means the issue is not with the students, it is with how learning is happening. So we need to understand what the experiential learning is. It is Experiential learning can be defined as sense making process of active engagement between the inner world of the person and the outer world of the environment, as quoted by Baird and Wilson, who clearly states that we have to engage them so that they become aware of the real life situations. And the learning should be student centered, and we should be facilitators and not instructors. And for that we need to use multi-sensory experience. So we have to cater all the kind of learners basically. We need to cater auditory, visual, tactile, kinesthetic. For that, for that deep learning experience, we need to change our strategies. And why we need to do this? Because the experiential learning, it helps in accelerating the learning, it helps creating a safe environment for the learning, it bridges theory practice gap, it helps in mindset changes, it increases the engagement of learning, and the last one, it is effective for retention. Because as we have already listened to this earlier, what we hear we forget, what we see we remember, and what we do we understand. So doing is important in order to make our learning permanent. So we have this experiential learning cycle by Cobb also, which states that uh, for permanent learning we need to have, let me just take this by example of profit and loss, in which if a teacher suppose converts a classroom into the market, and the students are, some students are vendors and some students are buying. So basically, the class experiences help them in the better training. So concrete experience leads to observations. The students understand. We make stations of learning, or then they reflect who made money, who lost money, what were the things, and then applying the formulas finally for conceptualization. And after this all, they just are prepared now for going to explore in their life. means take the real life experiences. So this basically explains us that learning is not a one phase. It will not be at one point or one step, but it is a complete cycle. And after this only it becomes complete. So learning is complete after the experience, the reflection or the observations, then understanding, and then applying it in real life. And for this, what we need is our students to be trained through senses also. What is the importance of senses in this? That is also there, as for catering all the types of learners. Senses are very much involved for better learning experiences, like for sight, for catering visual learners, and this helps their comprehension better way. And then hearing, taste, smell, and touch, all these senses are involved for better learning experiences. After using and understanding this theory, uh, what our students are going to become, they are now saying, if I could experience a volcanic simulation or perhaps get into the mind of historic figure and do a role play, learning subjects will be a fun for them. And they are going to say bye bye to rote memorization. So this was one of the experience in my class, in which they so these kind of experiences help them to retain the concepts uh, for longer duration. So well, let me just share the key initiatives in this direction by MHRD, state government, UNESCO, and CBSC. They are also working continuously in this direction so that the experiential learning occurs among the students. As it is stated by NCF, also the perspective on integrating experiential learning into NCF, then state government is also taking some initiatives to promote experiential learning, and UNESCO is again fostering this learning as a key approach to education worldwide. And we all know that CBSE is continuously working in this direction for incorporating experiential learning into its curriculum. Then other initiatives were also there. So that I have, we can go through in order to have deeper understanding about this. We can go through the CBSE manual also, which is already there on CBSE site for experiential learning. Then we have strategies which we can implement in our classes. The first one is role play. As we can have any topic, we can pick any topic and we can assign the roles to the students, and they will participate and they will learn in the better way. The role play help the decision making process, and by simulating the real life scenarios, they are going to have a better experience of learning. Field trips, or already we know that they connect classroom learning with the real world applications. Then we have films and documentaries, video projects. Guest speakers can be invited to schools, and we can have their portfolios. We already have, we can have art integration. We already have this kind of project also in CBSE. Then group learning can be there, peer tutoring, and games and puzzles can also be used to make the learning fun and enhancing problem solving and critical learning. So at the end, after having this, and as educators, we hold the power basically to make this shift happen, because at the end of the day, students may forget what we taught to them, but they will never forget how we made them feel about the learning. So we need to understand that every child is full of potential, and every classroom can be a space of curiosity and creativity, and every teacher can inspire a change. So let us not limit ourselves to the textbooks, but we should explore the things. There should be a freedom given to students also to explore. They should be provided the environment in which they have confidence to question the things. They think differently. They move from simple learning to the experiential learning, and we have to move them from Parkar Kumars to Karkar Kumaris. So at the end, let me just play this plays. Oh. So there was a song which I put here. Maybe it is not playing right now.
That's fine, Miss Jyoti.
Thank you for the.
You can stop sharing your screen, ma'am. Thank
Okay.
you for the talk. And any participants, any questions, you can unmute yourselves and you can ask the question. Miss Anjali, Miss Komal, Miss Monica, Miss Rinki Devi. Anyone, any questions, ma'am? You can unmute yourselves. Anyone? Any questions?
So basically, we are unstoppable learners, and we have to keep on asking questions from our
Right,
students.
right. So a couple of questions from my end, Ms. Jyoti. How do you balance curriculum completion with time-intensive experiential activities?
Ma'am, as if we plan the things in the better way, then
Mhm.
nothing is difficult for us. Like we can fix one activity period in the week for the topic which we are covering in that phase, and then we can easily complete the topic. It will. The basically planning is important.
Right,
Once we plan the things properly, then nothing is difficult for us to
right,
complete the syllabus and all. We do things as per the timelines accordingly.
correct. So can you close all the windows, ma'am, so that we can have a better view of you? We can have you
Yes.
on full screen. Close all the windows, please. Yes, yes, better. So what challenges have you faced implementing experiential learning in large classrooms? Does it work in smaller classrooms better, or did you face any challenges in the larger classrooms?
See, ma'am, after applying the concepts, we already have a big classroom strength, like 40 to 45 students we all have in our classrooms. So, yes, it is bit challenging to balance all the students, but if we go by groups, means if you assign the things in groups, it goes in the better way. So, and or we can use peer learnings also in between. Suppose first group has already done something, then that group can train the other ones.
So how does the assessment happen, ma'am? How do you assess learning outcomes in these with these experiential versus traditional methods?
So for assessment, at the last phase, we can ask the students to apply the things. We can have their presentations, or we can give them questionnaires for testing what whether they have learned the things properly or not.
Okay. So how does the school management take it? Do they encourage the experiential learning method or sometimes traditional learning method? Like what do they prefer?
Like NEP has also asked us now to move to the experiential learning. The school is our school. We are lucky, and they are providing us this chance to provide them experiences, and they have already given us this option also to plan the tours and everything for so that they can have proper learning environment. Even outside the school also they can go. We already plan trips and excursions also for that. So I think everywhere I feel the schools should be supporting, because it is the demand of the day nowadays.
Mhm. So talking about the resources, you said you have mentioned that the US school is very supportive. What resources are essential for implementing this experiential learning in mathematics, ma'am?
In mathematics, we can have maths labs in which we can arrange some basic tools over there. Rest, we can ask them to move to the grounds. Like, it depends on the topics,
Mhm.
and even the small basic things can help us in the, like, we if we perform some origami activities, then we can have simple paper cutting pastings, and then we move ask them to move to the corridors, or suppose small kids are there, they can explore the shapes around them. So simple things can also bring change. It is not necessary every time to have some big tools. Otherwise, for big means the, yeah, elder students also, we can have some online softwares, like those are free also, uh, and those are there on the Google also. They can search like Desmos and GeoGebras. Right now they are free. So it is not means necessary that we need to have so many big tools and we need to spend more. So it's just we need to explore the things around us. How we can use those things to make them understand
So what's your
about.
response to parents concerned about exam performances, ma'am?
Like, ma'am, it is that parents are also happy, because
Mhm.
earlier we used to have simple questions and answers, but they are not, the students are not trained for the real life applications. They keep on asking when they move the children with them to the market or somewhere. They were not able to understand the things. Like, if we take example for class 8, the student should be able to do all the calculations of the bills and all. So we already have, like in our curriculum we had one activity to bring bills, or electricity bills, or some hypermarket bills, and just study it thoroughly, the all the discounts, the all the taxes. So like I said, no, there is no need to have big tools or something. We just need to plan the things in the proper way, so that the students experience better way. And when we ask students to bring the bills, the parents are also happy that they are actually built for the future. They are actually building for the means they are taking the experience of the real life.
Right. So you mentioned about field trips, right? They play a very important role in this experiential learning. But can experiential learning work effectively in online or hybrid teaching environments?
Yes, ma'am. Online also we have some simulation where we can. It is not necessary, na. Like for history, if we want to tell, we want to make them explore Taj Mahal and all. So
Mhm.
there are tools for online. Suppose we are in the online mode. Like any time we have some or other things in Delhi also, or some other places also, some situations happen, we go to online mode. So we have safer zone things also. Simulations can be used for making them experience of real things, but excursions can be planned later on in the safer environment. Means keeping in mind the situations, we can adjust accordingly.
Okay. Because of the time constraint, I have so many questions. You have mentioned so many points, but to conclude the session, about the class size, Miss Jyoti, we have discussed about the class size, right? In your view, what's the ideal class size for effective experiential learning?
In my view, it should be 30 to 35,
Right.
because managing all the 40 above students is difficult. If there are 30 to 35 students, we can have 5 to 6 groups and we can manage them. We can have different trainings accordingly for them. But if it exceeds more than 6 to 7 groups, then it becomes difficult for us. So 30 to 35 is okay, and rest, if we have constraints like management is also some issues are there or something, so then we have to balance ourselves accordingly. And anyway, we have to train the students. So these situations means can be handled, and we need to just find out the way to handle.
Last but not the least, ma'am, we have discussed CBSE board. What
Yes.
specific CBSE initiatives have you found most helpful?
Like CBSE has introduced the art integrated learning in
Mhm.
the curriculum. Right now, we are having Kaushal Bodh also, skill education, which will help students to have their training in the middle years of their life, students' life. And from 6 to 8, they have made it mandatory to have some development of skills, and for that we are going to train them for any experience of life which will make them means they can earn or something for, and they are prepared for the future. So these initiatives, the art integration and the skill learning, the Kaushal board, these both the initiatives by CBSE will help the students.
Great, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Jyoti Nanda, for that insightful and thought-provoking presentation, ma'am. We truly appreciate you sharing your expertise on our platform today. I would also like to thank all our participants for joining us and for your engaging participation. Before I end the session, anything else you want to mention, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. It's just that we may have to make them Karkar. We have to make the students Karkar Kumaris and not Parkar Kumars. So start thinking from today onwards and go well planned to your classes.
I'll end the session, ma'am. Thank you.